Hey guys, welcome back to another Flintstones review. I literally just filmed this and realized that partway through the microphone died, so I had to swap to the other one because the second it does that, there's no audio on the video. Yeah, so I get to try and remember everything I just said and do it again. But anyway, so this is for the season 2 episode, The Entertainer, which basically the whole premise of this one is that Wilma's out of town for a couple of weeks because she's visiting her sick mom or something. And Fred, just trying to pass the time, is taking on like a lot of overtime hours at work, just because he's lonely and he doesn't really want to be home in an empty house. So he figures may as well try and get the boss to notice him, maybe give him a raise, maybe give him a promotion. You never know, but he's trying to get noticed. But in doing this, he is working himself to the freaking bone, to the point of physical exhaustion. He cannot even hold his eyes open, like in trying to carpool to work with Barney, he's like driving into the lake and everything. It's bad, but anyway. Meanwhile, Mr. Slate's wife informs him that they have tickets to see Romeo and Juliet, and you are not getting out of it just because you have to meet up with this sales associate to land this deal. You figure out a way to make this happen. So he's trying to figure out, okay, who can I make go in my place? And he looks out the window and he sees Fred right there. And he's like, perfect. He'd be perfect for this. So he calls him in. And of course, Fred practically has stars in his eyes. He thinks, he noticed me, and thinks he's getting a raise, he's getting a promotion, which I mean, he's not 100% wrong because the boss basically promises him one if he does this little favor for him and takes out an associate to land this deal. Given he runs a quarry, I'm not sure what kind of a deal that would be, but okay, we're just going with it, I guess. So fine. He doesn't even question it. He agrees. He'll do the thing. Till he finds out that this is a woman. And then he freaks out like, oh, no, 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 no. That's never gonna fly. My wife would kill me. Da 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 da. It's just like, but your wife is out of town. She'll never know. That's a good point. And since he basically promises him like the position of like junior partner or something, he's like, oh, okay. Well, in that case, I suppose, I could. Yeah, it goes down like that. So fine. He goes home. He gets all gussied up. He's like using Wilma's bath salts and everything. He's putting on a nice tie. The whole works. And Betty and Barney go to check on him. They're like, you're dressed nice for work. You smell nice. Like, if I didn't know better, I'd swear you had a date with another woman. And then they're like, yeah, date with another woman. That's ridiculous. And Fred's also playing in on it, like, yeah, what a ridiculous notion. That would never happen. Yeah, it's like that. So he goes off to take this woman to the Copa Cave, which, hilarious name, by the way. Literally moments after he leaves, because Flintstones logic, am I right? Moments after he leaves, Wilma suddenly drives up early. She's supposed to be gone for another week, but she's not. She came home early because she feels bad about leaving Fred home alone all this time and that he must be lonely. And Barney and Betty are like, well, you literally just missed him because he just left for work. But work? It's 9 at night. Oh, yeah, he's been working crazy overtime hours trying to get a promotion. She's like, oh, okay. Kind of sad. I really wanted to see him. I've missed him. So they're just like, well, we were going to go out to the Copa Cave. We've been saving our pennies so we could go there. You should come along. She's like, no, when he comes home, I want to be here. It's just like, yeah, but he doesn't come home till sunrise. You could totally go, come back. He still won't be here when you get back. So, I mean, you may as well go with us and have a good time. Okay. So she goes. And of course, it just happens to be the same place that Fred is out with this other woman. And Fred, again, thinks that this is just a favor for his boss. But this chick is laying it on thick. She's flirting with him. She thinks that, like, she actually stands some kind of chance with him. Thinks he is, like, the kind of guy you can marry. It's just like, I'm already married, but not telling her that. So he's just trying to play the part just so he could make the boss happy, have done exactly what he asked him to do, but he's sweating bullets. He's freaking out, man. But yeah, so he goes off to like get her some more champagne or something. And in exactly that moment is when Wilma walks over because apparently they went to school together. Because of course they did. And she recognizes her as Wilma Pebble, her maiden name. She's like, well, not anymore. I'm married now. But isn't it interesting that her last name is Pebble and then they go on to name their eventual daughter after her maiden name? A little weird, but I suppose stranger things have happened. But anyway, so I don't know if they ever mention it again in the show, but they did here. So just little trivia tidbit, I guess. But anywho, so they're talking, they're chatting, and then of course this other woman's like, well, I want you to meet my date that I'm here with, my Freddie. And she's like, huh, Freddie, that's funny because my husband's name is Freddie too. Not connecting these dots at all. Because why would she? Fred, meanwhile, sees this. He's like, oh my god, what do I do? So he hides under the table. How did he get under there without being seen? I don't know. Cartoon logic. So he is listening in on every word of this, feeling guiltier than guilty. Because of course he is. And he's gonna try and sneak and crawl off to the next table, which happens to be Betty and Barney's table. Ha ha, small world. And then Wilma brings her friend over to meet them. Oh boy. So now Fred's really freaking out, like, oh my god, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? So he crawls out again. Again, somehow without being seen. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me how. Cartoon logic. Just roll with it. Just roll with it. He decides to crawl home. And he sneaks into bed, thinking, okay, I'll just pretend to be asleep. No one will be any the wiser. Wilma will come home. It'll all be good. It'll all be good. Except Wilma decides to bring her friend home because on her way to her hotel to drop her off, you know, her own house is on the way, so may as well like stop in, see the house, you know. Yeah. Fred doesn't know that part yet. But he sees Wilma when she comes into the bedroom. She's all happy to see him and everything. And then she's like, oh, by the way, I want you to meet my friend. And he is not connected these dots yet, because why would he? Until he hears the voice, and then, oh no, he's hiding under the blanket and everything, and will not come out at all. It's faking sick and everything. It's dumb. He claims to have reverse mumps. Because that's a thing, right? Stupid lies are stupid, but anyway. Yeah, she's like, well, I was a nurse in training, so I'll go in there. But he literally will not take the blanket down, so she fakes leaving. So he'll take the blanket down, and then she sees who it is. Because, you know, she totally wouldn't recognize the voice or anything, right? And then she's basically more or less, not in these words, but basically like, you bastard, you left me with that check! But anyway, yeah. And now Wilma thinks that he's been cheating with her and won't listen to reason. And he's just like, oh my god, what the... Like, she obviously reacted exactly how he worried she would. Understandably so. But, like, still, it doesn't make it any better. She's packing a bag. She's about to leave him. And the other woman is defending Fred. Telling Wilma she should feel ashamed of herself. Like, wait, what? Time out. And she's just like, wait, why should I be ashamed? She's like, because you're lucky enough to be married and to be married to a guy like that and everything, and you take him for granted and you would just leave without even hearing him out on what this was. This was a work thing. And she eventually leaves. And not before saying, at least think it through before making hasty decisions. But yeah, so now Wilma feels like a heel. It's like, okay, how can I ever make it up to you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't understand. I thought. But yeah, so he's like, well, I can think of a few ways you can make it up to me. And of course, Barney wants in on this because he's the great joiner-inner. And he's like, yeah, Betty. Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself, too. You should be, you know, lucky to have such a husband. Yeah, so basically they end up being the husband's slaves for a while, giving them breakfast in bed, going with them to bowling night to set up the pins, etc., etc. because cavemen. But anyway, I don't know. This one actually felt like really well thought out and everything. It didn't feel like they phoned it in on this episode. I really like this one. I feel like this is a 5-star worthy episode right here. Um, yeah, it's really, really good. I liked the character designs and everything, especially of Greta. Like, it was really cute. Um, but yeah, I know I always say if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Like, they're literally all on Tubi for free, so there's no reason not to. But yeah, anyway. So that is it for this one, guys. So as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more is all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, until next time, see ya.